Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob Grams, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome, welcome. It is 8:30 a.m. Central European Time for those of you listening to the ProBoh Show live. How are you doing? Good morning, good morning. If you also want to join us on Twitch TV and contribute to the content that is coming out today, you can do that on twitch.tv, Professional Bohemian, Professio. I'm just realizing now. Spelling this out is even worse than just saying it. Ionalbohemian. Toma. Bueno, bohemio profesional pero en inglés. Easier to say. And if you want to interact with us outside the show, you can easily do that on Instagram at Professional Bohemian 2. And go check out our YouTube channel. I never talk about it, but lots of content goes up there. I upload the podcast every day. Sometimes highlights from the show if a section is particularly funny or not. So join us there. What's coming up in today's show? Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Hello to Jay Romanova. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so in today's show, I ask 100 humans what they talk about around the water cooler. Do you know that expression, Natch? Around the water cooler? I don't know how you say it in Spanish. Estos torres con agua fría. You know what I mean? They usually exist in offices. You go, you fill your cup. Usually there are other people there and you have a little talk. When we say around the water cooler, it's more related to the conversations you have at work. You know what I mean? Usually. Well, I don't want to tell you usually about what, because that's what I asked 100 humans. Spoilers. Hashtag spoilers. Good morning, Born to Iron Man. Good morning, ProBoh Showers. Born to Iron Man's making that happen. ProBoh Showers. The more I read it, the more I like it. So how are you doing, Born to Iron Man? How are you doing? Guten Morgen, says Min, joining us from the Netherlands. Which is curious, because we actually have, hopefully if we get to it, some news from the Netherlands today. Good morning, all. Welcome. So that's 100 humans. Then we go on to complete the news, where we're going to talk about an unlikely witness to a murder. An unlikely, well, maybe witness isn't the right word. Someone who contributed to catching murderers. Something. And that's in complete the news today, if we get to it. But that's all in the second half, my friends. We have so much more fun coming in this first half, where we have a classic unpopular opinion today, Natch. Money can buy happiness. Do you remember when we first started the show, we did Money Can't Buy Happiness? Changed my mind. Be like water. You got to be flexible in your thought. So today I'm going to argue that money can buy happiness. Why the hell not? But that's all coming up in the later on. Right now, I'm here, you're here, Natch is here. Let's let's not look at the news right now. Natch, do you know what? Could you define toxic masculinity? The concept of toxic masculinity. Don't worry, man, because if I'd have asked myself this question yesterday morning, I wouldn't have been able to answer either. But give me your best answer.
I don't know, this type of guy that is always telling his adventures or his achievements with the...
Okay.
And he's always, like, treating badly the women.
Okay, so, yeah, treating women badly, like misogynistic, right? Mm-hmm. Toxic masculinity. Okay, I get you. Why? Because something happened to me yesterday, as you well know, actually, which made me question, am I toxic? Am I a toxic male? Okay, let me explain, friends. Let me explain before you all just tune out and hate me. Good morning, Alone Strong, joining us in the chat. Guys, again, if you want to join us in the chat, go to twitch.tv, type in Professional Bohemian, you'll find me. Societal expectations put on men that aren't good for them, says Min. Okay, good definition. I would say maybe a little bit, arguing the same thing as Natch, but probably a little bit more succinct there. Okay, So, toxic masculinity, I had no idea. If someone asked me yesterday to define toxic masculinity, I would have said, I don't know, a certain amount of misogyny, I guess. So I did some research. Why? What happened to me yesterday? So, I've been operating under the assumption, as most of you know, I took a 6-week break from the radio because I had an accident on my scooter. It still sounds dumb to say. But I had an accident on my scooter. The doctor told me I'd broken a rib. And it laid me out for 6 weeks. And apart from that, then in my personal life, there's been a lot of things that have gone on to kind of make me question who I am. Like, am I, just, I don't want to go into too many details because, I'm trying to protect someone who hasn't done a very good job of protecting me, honestly. But anyway, the last 6 months have been difficult for me personally. And, it's felt like an assault on my self-esteem. And then this accident was like the cherry on the cake. Right, so I broke a rib, and it laid me out completely for 6 weeks. And then I'm talking to people through that baja, and like Natch, for example, he says, "Yeah, my elderly mother broke 3 ribs, and it was very painful." And I'm thinking, I've broken a rib, just one, and I can't move. So it kind of framed this accident for me as like, I don't think I'm a tough guy, Natch. I never thought I was a tough guy. But, someone really determined. I've always considered myself really determined and maybe not tough, but, pretty high pain threshold and whatnot. So the idea of me breaking a rib and it kind of being this thing that's put my life on hold was kind of difficult for me to swallow. That mixed with my own personal dramas relationship-wise. So I went for the MRI results yesterday, and apparently I broke 6 ribs. 6 ribs. And it completely reframed the whole accident for me in my brain. Like, in that moment when the doctor told me that, he did actually more for me than he'd done in the last 2 months. Because all of a sudden it went from I fell off my scooter, broke a rib and couldn't do anything. It's like I fell off my scooter, broke 6 ribs, got back on the scooter and rode to work. And here's the thing. I will, I'll be honest. The idea of me going from considering myself a little softer than I thought I was to feeling, robust again, made me feel really good. And I told people this in the office as soon as I came back because the results session wasn't that long. Came right back into the office. Told Natch. I feel like Natch identified with how I was feeling in that moment. I've told Fitz. Fitz, like, I completely understand how you feel. Told other female colleagues, Natch. They didn't get it. Andrea, for example, she was like, "This is terrible, you could sue, you could have lost your life." I'm like, dude, don't you get it? I feel like a man again. And that sounds probably, if you're a female listener or, maybe you're a more enlightened man than I am, you're probably thinking, well, that's a really weird takeaway from that. You should be maybe disgusted that they didn't find those breaks earlier. That you didn't spend time in hospital instead of going home. You could have punctured a lung. Maybe that's your thought. My immediate thought was, damn. Thank God, I'm not as soft as my, as my psyche was telling me that I was. When I say that it was a real psychological struggle for me, the baja, that was a big part of it. What was going on in my personal life, as well as the break, all compounded to make me feel like less. I always say to you, know your worth, and then add tax. Well, it made me completely the relationship issues I was having, and then this accident and what it did to my body really made me reconsider my own worth. Natch, my question, is that toxic masculinity? Because, I kind of think it maybe is. Okay, so I did a little research, man. I did a little research on the webpage. Let me see. Verywellmind.com. Toxic masculinity definition and examples. Toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's idea of manliness perpetuates domination, homophobia, and aggression. Okay, I would say immediately that takes me out of the running as a toxic male, because I'm none of those things. Arguably, in the past, I was quite an aggressive young person, you know. But as an adult, that's definitely not the case. Toxic masculinity involves cultural pressures for men. This is kind of going back to what Min was saying earlier. Toxic masculinity involves cultural pressures for men to behave in a certain way, and it's likely to affect all boys and men in some fashion. Now we start kind of scraping up my issue here. Is what I experienced there just masculinity? What makes it toxic? Is it unhealthy? It's a question, open question for you guys also in the chat. Let me know live, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. Let's see what people are saying. JM Romanova says, not too bad. You have 12. I broke 6 of them. But it's not a big deal. You've got 12. Stop moaning. I think, do we have more than 12 ribs? I know, well, the doctor said I broke from 2 to 8 on one side. I don't know what that means. Not clever enough. Not doctor. I don't know where 2 to 8 is. Let's see. The good thing that these kind of injuries is that you only have to take a break and rest. At least your lung wasn't injured too, so think about the positive part of everything. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was very grateful that the accident wasn't more serious. It was actually a lot more serious than I thought it was. The doctor kind of, you know, made no secret about that yesterday. He says, look, you had a really, really bad accident, even worse than we originally thought. So, you know, you were very lucky. And be careful on that patinette, which I haven't touched since, by the way. Pedro says, now I can call you to swim with me across the ocean, Rob. It completely changed my mind about you. Welcome to the club. Thank you, thank you. Floating ribs don't count. Okay, thank you, Pedro, thank you. Okay, floating ribs don't count. Floating ribs are the ribs that aren't attached to, the spine or whatever, I think. So yeah, is that toxic masculinity? Is that just masculinity? You know, I'm sure women face similar pressures about, maybe certain beauty standards or, you know, I mean, what would be the contrary to that? Like, I know, you know, for example, we had her here in the studio, Claire. Not the most emotionally driven person. She's quite logical. She's quite, you know, did she feel pressure to be more emotionally tuned in? You know, is that kind of, what does toxic femininity look like? Is toxic femininity even a thing? And I will be honest, the pressure that I put on myself over that period, not only because of my relationship issues, but because of my health issues, made me feel less like a man. Should it have? Probably not, right? Is that toxic masculinity? Interesting. Let's continue reading about this concept of toxic masculinity. This idea that men need to act tough and avoid showing all emotions can be harmful to their mental health and can have serious consequences for society, which is how it became known as toxic masculinity. So a few definitions here. Anti-femininity. I don't think this applies to me. I wouldn't consider myself anti-feminine in the slightest. This involves the idea that men should reject anything that is considered to be feminine, such as showing emotions or accepting help. Dude, I've seen so much reality TV at this point. It's impossible. It's impossible for me not to be in tune with that part of myself, you know. Let's see. Power. This is the assumption that men must work towards obtaining power and status, social and financial, so they can gain the respect of others. I don't know if that applies to me either. You know what I mean? Maybe to a certain extent, I don't know. And then toughness is the last one. This is the notion that men should be physically strong, emotionally callous, and behave aggressive. So yeah, interesting. So this was what was occupying my mind last night. If you ever feel bad, Natch, about like jaleo en casa and kids' birthdays, remember your friend Rob, who sits at home and whose mind goes to the weirdest things. No potholes in the ocean, says Min. I suppose toxic masculinity would be the expectation that you just get up after an accident with 6 broken ribs and ride to the office. Hoo-ha! Dude, I can't help it. Makes me feel good about myself. What do you want me to say? I don't know if it applies to being happy. You were down because of much bigger accident than initially thought. Yeah, true. Doubting oneself after a breakup or similar emotional distressing situations is logical, I think. Difference might be that women are expected to talk it out, but men are expected to keep it to themselves. Yeah. Why is that, man? Because you know what? Today's unpopular opinion was going to be men should compliment each other more. But I know what's going to happen if I put that. Everyone is going to say, yes, men should compliment each other more. But then experiencing compliments as a man from another man, I know how weird it feels. Do you know what I mean about that, Natch? It feels odd. Like my friend Pete Swindon, who used to work here. Oh, very complimentary. I like his shoes. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to react to that? Thanks. And I've tried doing it as well. I tried doing it to Fitz. So I came in while I was on Baja. I came in to see everybody. Went for a coffee with Fitz. Said, "Hey, Fitz, nice jacket." And he just looked at me like, "What's wrong with you?" So it's a complex issue, and I don't know how to properly phrase that in a way that makes it as contentious as it actually is. And it's odd, and and I have this splinter in my mind of masculinity. What does it mean to be a man? You know, what side of manliness is not considered toxic? Like if we can clearly define toxic masculinity as we can, what is positive masculinity? I mean, define positive masculinity to me, Natch. Do you know what I mean? Because here, in pretty much every source where I read about toxic masculinity, they define it as the antithesis of being emotionally connected, right? Being cerebral and emotionally kind of accessible. But they define those as feminine traits. So what is positive masculinity? This is a question for me that I'm going to ruminate on, and we are going to do a show or a series of shows about that, because I find it a fascinating subject. As a man in my middle age, like I thought I was a lot more enlightened than I actually am until yesterday. I got that news, and it made me feel great, quite irrationally so, because maybe I should have been more kind of thinking, God, I could have killed myself. But no, my first thought, my lizard brain, first thing it said was, wow. You know, you're not as soft as you thought. Congratulations, you've earned a beer. Do you know what I mean? And as I sit here now, my ribs still a little sore, my back still a little sore. The pain is hitting me different. You know what I mean? It's less of a distraction and, you know, perhaps more of a badge of honor. Is that toxic masculinity? Is that just masculinity? Is that just stupidity? I honestly have no idea. Hence why I pose it to you guys. And remember, when you write in the chat, there is no right or wrong answers. I am not a gatekeeper of any kind of truth. I don't know. I'm the biggest idiot here. I'm the one that they let do the talking. You know what I mean? Consider that. But these are questions I think worth asking. You know what I mean? My TikTok recently has become kind of this never-ending circle of men complaining about being marginalized by women, by society. And I don't know about you, Natch, I don't feel the slightest bit persecuted as a man. Yeah, I wonder how many other people are seeing those posts. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting subject. What does it actually mean nowadays to be a man? You know, we can say what the bad qualities about man, this toughness, this callousness, a lack of emotion. But what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a person? You know what I mean? In a world where kind of gender seems to be some kind of a spectrum. You know what I mean? You know, it's interesting questions, man, and questions that I am sadly not qualified enough to answer. But we'll talk about this more in the future because I do find it fascinating. We've spent so much time talking about AI. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, Natch, have I really spent all this time talking about this? I didn't even enter in the news today. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Good morning, Bridge. How you doing? Now, seriously, to the extent that your belief that breaking one rib only made you feel less of a man, that might be toxic masculinity to yourself. So maybe, Rob. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because, you know, I mean, I felt less tough. You know what I mean? That kind of feeling of I lost my physical agency. And now I'm, you know what I mean? Let's face it, that accident happened because of my own stupidity. I mean, what am I doing as a 40-something-year-old man riding around on an electric scooter? You know what I mean? I'm not going to sue the Ayuntamiento because it's my stupid fault. You know? And not only that, then the personal things that I've been going through all compounded to make me reassess the value in which I had of myself. And then understanding that, no, actually, this was a more serious accident than you thought it was, immediately reframed a lot of what's happened over the last 2 months and made me feel better. And maybe it shouldn't have. Maybe breaking one rib only was enough. You know? Interesting. You know, I'm a man that believes he knows himself quite well. Then weird stuff like this happens and makes me realize, well, actually, no, you don't know yourself as well as you thought. And guys, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real. So if it happens to me and, you know, I want to share it with you. Because at the end of the day, we're all a community here. Okay, let's continue. I think positive masculinity isn't really a thing because the ideal situation isn't an ideal man, but an ideal person that isn't bound to gender-based expectations. Wow. Can we get Min a ProBoh approved?
ProBoh approved.
Maybe positive or non-toxic masculinity or non-toxic femininity. Maybe they aren't things. Maybe you're just a good person. You know? That's a really great point. No, Rob, the pain of a broken rib is excruciating. Wow, telling me. All right, let's very quickly go to this unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
All right, friends, today's unpopular opinion, what is it? It's a brain fart. It's a pedocerebral, pedomental. I share it with you on social media, at Professional Bohemian on Instagram. You tell me what you think, and we argue it anyway here. The people who actually decide what is the truth are the people who are watching live. Money can buy happiness. That is today's Natch. What do you think?
Money can help, definitely. Yeah, but not only money. Yeah, but money helps.
Money helps. So you would be a true, right? Can you guess what Instagram said?
They say yes, I can.
50-50.
50-50.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Well,
I'm surprised too.
Yeah, because it's not only money. I can see that. Not only money, yeah.
So 50-50. 50-50. Like last time, like I said, we did a very similar topic in a previous show, and it was money can't buy happiness. And I went over a bunch of scientific papers that actually demonstrate that people, on average, independent of how much they earn or how much they have in the bank, kind of, you know, level out or plateau at a certain amount of happiness. And money has very little to play in that mental state. But let's go through some pros and cons. Money can buy happiness. To agree with that statement, having money can provide a sense of financial security, reducing stress related to meeting basic needs. True story. You know what I mean? This is one thing I consider. You know, opportunities. Money can enable access to experiences and opportunities that bring happiness, such as travel, hobbies, education. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Pizza costs money. Pizza makes me happy. It's a pretty simple formula. Time. Money can be used to buy time by outsourcing tasks or working fewer hours, allowing individuals to focus on what makes them happy. Philanthropy. Money can be used to help others, giving individuals a sense of purpose and fulfillment. To disagree with the argument, money cannot buy happiness. Research suggests that happiness increases with income, but up to a certain point, after which additional money has diminishing returns on well-being. This is quite a lot related to the argument I had when we argued the contrary of this. Materialism, focusing on mental wealth, can lead to a cycle of constantly wanting more. Yeah. Common story in this day and age. Many aspects of happiness, such as strong relationships, personal growth, have nothing to do with money, etc. Okay, guys, I'm not the one who's going to decide this. Can money bring happiness? Can it not? You're going to tell me. I will post a poll in the chat for those of you here live, and we'll find out. Does money buy happiness? Yes? No? Okay, guys, a lot of things you could be doing today. Instead of doing those things, you're here with me, and it means the world. See you soon. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the one and only ProBoh Show. Here we are, again, for the second part of today's show. If you're just tuning in, what did we talk about in the first part? Well, I got carried away. We started talking about toxic masculinity, trying to discover what it is, what the opposite of toxic. Is there such a thing as positive masculinity? Can masculinity ever be a positive thing? I have no idea, so I was asking you. If you have any thoughts on this, please do reach out, write to me. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You know, don't hold back. I'd like to know. I wouldn't be putting out this question if I knew the truth, because I don't. I had an accident, got some news yesterday. Had a pretty rough 6 months. And some news yesterday made me feel good, irrationally so. You know? You hurt yourself worse than you thought. And it made me feel good about myself. That toxic masculinity? I'm not sure. Is there an opposite to toxic masculinity? I have no idea. Can masculinity be a positive thing? Interesting questions, man. Because I have no idea of the answers, but bit by bit, over the coming weeks, months, maybe it's a subject we'll dive into. Anyway, so then we moved on to today's unpopular opinion, which was money can buy happiness. It was a 50-50 split in Instagram, so we needed today to come to a consensus, and I think we have. Yes, we definitely have. The poll has just finished. All right. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. MJ Symbol, great point here. Money can buy happiness, although not permanently, and definitely not for a long time. It can't buy empathy. Dude, great point. Can we get a ProBoh approved?
ProBoh approved.
The question wasn't, does money buy long-term happiness? It was, does money buy happiness? And in every metric it does. Again, I use my money to buy pizza. Pizza makes me happy. I've got loads of money. I don't have to work anymore. I'm happy. I bought my own house and no longer pay rent. Happy. You know? Wow, I'd love to own my own home. Yeah, so money in kind of every metric can, at least on the surface, buy happiness. Can it buy long-term happiness? I don't think so. At least the science would suggest that it doesn't. Because eventually, you know, you normalize whatever situation you're in, you find something to be upset about. I mean, that's a human condition, right? Let's see. Pedro says, money certainly can give you access to resources that can lead you to feelings of happiness. But I don't think it brings happiness by itself. And on the other hand, not having enough money can certainly lead to unhappiness. Totally. I mean, look, unhappiness, you know, frame it however you want. Stress. Dude, I've been stressed out for money. I'm sure Natch has been stressed out for money. We've all been stressed out because we can't pay a bill, or we've got a fine, or we've got, you know, some kind of obligation, and our bank accounts don't stretch to solving that problem. You know? If a lack of money can cause unhappiness, surely the opposite can be true, right? Let's see. Min, can we get another ProBoh approved? These guys are killing it today.
ProBoh approved.
Thanks for that, Pedro. Min says, let's be honest though, financial stability is also happiness. The thing with money can't buy happiness is that it mainly focuses on the money that comes on top of being financially stable. True story. Yeah, people who say money can't buy happiness, they have obviously never been poor. I remember being sat around my grandparents' table, everyone frantically trying to eat as quickly as possible so my grandfather didn't eat everything. because we were hungry. You know what I mean? Ask me back then, like, would a McDonald's hamburger, would money to buy a McDonald's make me happy? Dude, of course. I don't know. Money, I mean, the idea that money doesn't buy happiness, to me, feels a little naive. Just a little naive. Maybe not lasting happiness, but you're telling me if I gave you €1,000, you won't be happy? I know if someone gave me €1,000, man, it'd be like Christmas. Anyway, let's continue. Obviously, you're not going to be unhappy if you don't have enough money to pay both. Obviously, you are going to be unhappy if you don't have enough money to pay for rent and food. This is from Min. Great points, Min. Great points. Born to Iron Man. In our society, money talks. That's what he says. Money talks. El dinero habla. Right, Natch?
Qué nivelazo.
I didn't deserve that one. I'm going to be honest, I didn't deserve that one. But thank you, sir. Or at least that is what is sung by AC/DC. Yes, Born to Iron Man. Amen. MJ Symbol. Money is a tool and it can have a positive impact if used correctly. It doesn't necessarily increase your well-being. I'm not sure. I do think it does increase your overall sense of well-being. Money, of course it does. Think of all the things that give you a sense of well-being. Security, right, is another way you could say well-being. And security is definitely, finance plays a part in that. Born to Iron Man, out of college, money spent, see no future, pay no rent. All the money's gone, nowhere to go, any jobber got the sack by the Beatles. Born to Iron Man, sharing some lyrics there. Symbol, fine, you don't have to pay the rent, but you do have to pay your mortgage, which could be, in many cases, even worse. Hang on. Born to Iron Man says, money talks. Poderoso caballero es don dinero. Is that what you say in Spanish? Oof, let's get nivelazo for Mr. Born to Iron Man.
Vaya nivelazo.
A powerful knight is Mr. Money. I like that. Poderoso caballero es don dinero. Dude, one day I'm going to lose this Geary accent in Spanish. You see. You watch me, Natch. Alone Strong says, with money you can buy a bed, but not sleep. Okay, here we go. We've got something poetic. Get ready. With money you can buy a bed, but not sleep. With money you can buy food, but not appreciate the flavour. With money you can get a doctor, but not good health. With money you can have insurance, but not safety. With money you can have sex, but not love. He makes a good point. Even though it sounds like an Instagram post. Do you know what I mean? Look, I get where you're coming from, Alon Strong. You know what I mean? Money won't buy you love. Money doesn't buy you family. Money doesn't buy, the most important things in life. When you're on your deathbed, you're not going to think, oh, look how much money I've got in the bank. You're going to think, look at the people I've loved, the lives I've affected. Look at the positive impact I've had on the world and those around me. Look at the love that encircles me in my life. I've been lucky. You won't say I've been rich. It's true. But to discard the idea that money doesn't buy happiness means that you're not thinking, zoom out. In order to meet the lady who would eventually become your wife and have those kids, you went out on dates, you bought gifts. There is definitely you went on holidays together. You weren't both homeless in a ditch. There is finance is weaved in and out of every aspect of our lives. To deny that is, for me, a little naive. Is that the way it should be? That's another question. I don't believe so. Dude, if we could go back to trading goats for food, dude, I'm all about that. I feel like we all should be empowered. We should all have at least the minimum to be able to make a decent life for ourselves. But sadly, that's not the case for everyone. You know what I mean? So it's a little naive for me. And I'm not the gatekeeper of the truth here. That's why I read out every comment, independent of whether I agree with it or not. It's important to hear a variety of opinions, right? I don't know if money gives you happiness. I've never had enough to know that. In my case, you could be free of a lot of problems related to money. True story. Money does certainly have its own unique problems. That's from Rafelka. Woof. My God, okay, you guys are on fire today. Alone Strong, money is a fantastic tool to facilitate the exchange of goods and services. It's not really that useful for anything else. Said another way, you can buy convenience, plumber, doctor, car, and distraction, sex, drugs, vacations. Oh, you're making me so looking forward to the summer reading that. From suffering, but you can't buy happiness, peace, or love. Most people chase money because they believe that it can control their happiness and sense of security and fulfillment by controlling their circumstances. Yeah, look, I'm with you, man. I mean, look, the human condition. As I said before, I used to live on a paradise desert island in Fuerteventura, and I complained every single day. Partly because I'm British, partly because I'm a human. People will always find something to complain about. But my idea is this, okay? Our natural state of being is happy. We don't go on vacation to pursue happiness. We go on vacation to escape our day-to-day lives. Would you agree with that statement, Natch? Yeah, right? So we go to escape our everyday lives, and all of a sudden we find ourselves, boom, happy. No problems, no responsibilities, no, I don't have to think about my bills, my anything. So, yeah, and that vacation probably paid for using money, but whatever. Our natural state of being is happiness. So think about the problems in your life, Natch. How many of the problems that you have in your life or those inconveniences are money related?
Todos?
Yeah, me too.
Thank God, because the ones that are...
Because the ones that aren't money related are even worse. Yeah. Amen. Give yourself a ProBoh approved. Jeez.
ProBoh approved.
Yeah. Most of my problems, money related in some way. And think about your own life. No. I don't have a problem with money. I just hate my job. Why are you at your job? To earn money, my friend. So, congratulations. So, if money is the cause of your unhappiness, maybe if you had more, a lot of that unhappiness would disappear. Or said in another way, it'd make you a little more happy. Right? Guys, I'm going to have to wrap this up and move on to unpopular to 100 humans. Otherwise, this is going to get away from us. I'll read Min real quick. Money gives mental stability and rest, which is massively important and allows you to work and focus on other things. Born to Iron Man. Best things in life are free, but you can keep them for the birds and the bees, another Beatles quote. I love it. All right, on that note, friends. Oh, wait, we need to do the results. Let's get a drum roll. Money can buy happiness. 60% true. We didn't come to 100% consensus, but the crowd has voted that yes, money can buy happiness. I would agree with that. Maybe even in the short term. Is short-term happiness in some way less valuable than long-term happiness? I don't think so. If you think like that, I zoom out. Your whole life is a moment of little moments of temporary happiness, right? Okay, anyway, so that's all we've got for today's unpopular opinion. Let's go to 100 humans. Oh my God, friends, it was a long walk to work across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans. 100 unpopular opinions, says me. I encountered 100 humans and I asked them a question. Today I asked them, name something co-workers, so amigos en el trabajo, compañeros de trabajo. So name something co-workers talk about around the water cooler. So this is, I'm not meaning literally around a water dispenser. I mean, we say around the water cooler, those kind of chats you have in the office environment. Okay, so I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. All right, here we go. As always, Natch, we're going to go to you first.
Maybe about their family issues?
About their family issues. Ooh, about their family issues. Is it there? Is that something co-workers talk about? Is it there? No, it's not. Oh, I'll be honest. I was quite surprised by a lot of the answers today. Yeah, I was quite surprised because me and Natch, we really don't talk in the office. No, but I mean, occasionally someone will pass by our room and we'll have like 5 minutes. Hey, how's it going? And Natch and I definitely talk to each other more on air with an open mic than we do when we're working. It's a perfect workmate, man. It doesn't get any better. Okay, so yeah, sadly, family issues is not there. Okay, let's continue. Pedro says the boss. Something co-workers talk about around the water cooler. The boss. Is it there? I assume he doesn't mean Bruce Springsteen. He means like the El Jefe, de la Empresa. Although, you talk about whatever you want, man. If you want to talk about Bruce Springsteen, you go ahead. The boss. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Pedro from Instagram, straight out of the gate with the boss. And with 33 of 100 humans saying the boss is number one answer. My God. Some power Pedro is demonstrating right there. Min, the weather. Min says the weather. El tiempo. Classic. It's a classic. In Spain, they talk about the temperature more than the weather. But, I mean, it's still a weather-related thing. But I remember in England, it's like, oh, raining outside. Yes, it is. Most obvious statement. It's always raining. But yeah. Oh, sunny. It's nice and sunny. No, in Spain, it's the temperature to the degree. Temperatures dropped 5 degrees last night. So cold. I love it. Okay, so is weather there? Yes, it is. Well done. You guys are killing it today. You're doing good work. The sixth most popular answer with 7 of the 100 humans, we had the weather. All right, let's continue. Sports. Min says sports. Something people talk about around the water cooler. Dude, I have never... people have tried to talk to me about sports. Don't get me wrong. They've tried. They soon stop. It's interesting when you meet... when you're in a Spanish company and you meet a new colleague, especially if that colleague is male. I don't want to be sexist here, but they'll usually try and identify with you through sports. Usually through football. With me being an English guy, so who do you support? I don't know. Who do you support? I support them then. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. Can we stop talking about this now? Hate sports, man. I hate it. Hate it. But do people talk about sports around the water cooler? Normal people, not weirdos like me. Do they? Yes, they do. Min is on fire. That was the second most popular answer. Sports with 19 of 100 humans. Well done. Okay. Upcoming holidays. So like vacations and things like that. Upcoming holidays. Is it there? No, it's not. Sorry, guys. Okay. Min says workplace rumours. Do you know, there's another way to say that, Natch. Workplace rumours. There's another way to say that Pedro correctly identified. Do you know how to say it?
In Spanish is cotilleos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know it. When I say it, you're going to kick yourself.
Yeah.
Gossip.
Gossip.
Okay, Pedro says gossip. Min says workplace rumours. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done, guys. Min and Pedro doing all the heavy lifting today. All the heavy lifting. Okay, you've got 4 of the 7 answers, guys. Doing really great. Rafelka says work. I mean, of course. Work. Is work going to be there? I mean, you know what? I'm going to give it to him. Let's say yes, it is. I'm going to give it to you. Because workload is there. The amount of work you have. Can you believe how much work we have? I'm so busy. Or I'm not too bad today. I've got less work than usual today. You know, we do talk about our workload quite a lot. So there you go. Workload. Well done to Rafelka. Nice. Good job, my dude. All right. Alone Strong says sex. I mean, it depends on your colleagues, right? But sex, he says. Is sex there? Something people talk about around the water cooler, the workplace conversation. You know what? I'm going to give it to you, yes. Said so explicitly, no, it's not there. But love life is there. Talk about your love life, your partner, things that are going on in your relationship, or if you went out on a date, you would talk about your love life. Maybe not about the sex, but whatever. Love life is there. So we'll give it to you. Well done. Okay, you're missing one answer. For me, it's the least most popular answer. For me, it is literally one of the only things I talk about. Mostly on the radio, to be honest. But one of my favourite subjects. Oh, let's see. We have football. Yeah, we have quarterly results, amorous relationships, hot women in other office buildings. I'm ashamed to say, yes. It's not there, but yes. Pedro, Rob, if you encounter the 100 humans across river valleys and snow-capped mountains, do they even work? It's early when we get in. Natch and I. We get in very, very early. They're on their way to work, you know? News, food. Guys, none of those are there. I'm sorry. Although Bridge, Pedro, Rafelka, Lone Strong, Min, great answers. Someone came out of nowhere, Natch. A Lone Strong came out, walked like a slow walk away from an explosion in an 80s Hollywood movie, you know what I mean? Like that, and said, TV shows and series. Is it there? Yes, it is. It's there. It is the seventh most popular answer, with 7 of 100 humans saying that. Guys, oh my God. All right, let's very, very quickly go through the list. I asked 100 humans to name something co-workers talk about. In position number 7, we had TV shows. In position number 6, we had weather. The weather. In position number 5, we had the workload, the amount of work you have. In position number 4, we had love life. Talk about our love lives. In position number 3, we had gossip. Gossip, that was Pedro, well done. In position number 2, we had Min with sports. And then a few other people said football and things. And then in position number 1, we had the boss. Congratulations, Pedro. Okay, we're going to have to be really quick. Let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news.
Okay, complete the news. I'm going to give you a news headline with some information missing. Using the 3 options I give you, we are going to complete the news. Here we go. This is from geartape.com. Testimony from blank leads to 2 people serving life imprisonment for murder. Okay, so testimony from blank leads 2 people to life imprisonment from murder. But testimony from what? Testimony, very similar in Spanish, right? Un testigo is a witness. How do you say testimony in Spanish?
Testimonio.
Testimonio, okay. So there you go. So testimony from blank, it lands 2 people in prison for life for murder. But from what is it? A parrot. Un loro, I think you say, right, in Spanish.
Yeah, loro.
Loro. No rolling the R, just one R. Okay, thank you. Is it A, a parrot? B, from beyond the grave, which is an idiom that means, you know, like a psychic is communicating with someone who's dead. So testimony from blank lands 2 in prison for murder. Is it A, a parrot? B, from beyond the grave, so a testimony from a dead person? Or C, Amazon Alexa? She's appeared twice on the Complete the News section, Natch. Popular. Is it A, B, or C, my friends? Testimony from blank lands 2 in life imprisonment for murder. A, a parrot. B, from beyond the grave. Or C, from Amazon Alexa. Testimony from a parrot, testimony from beyond the grave, or testimony from Amazon Alexa. What do you think, Natch?
A parrot?
You think A?
Yeah.
2 people would agree with you. We've also got C as an answer. All right. I'll tell you what, we'll make A the winning option. Natch swayed the vote. Okay, so you all say a parrot. Let's get that drum roll, Natch. A pet parrot's testimony lands 2 people in life imprisonment for a murder in 2014. So this is a piece of news from geartape.com from March 27th, so just a couple of days ago. On February 20th, 2014, Neelam Sharma, wife of the editor-in-chief of a prominent newspaper in Agra, was murdered in her own home. Her home was also robbed, but police... Robbed, kind of, they stole everything. But police could not find any leads. However, VJ's pet parrot ultimately played a significant role in the investigation. The parrot began screaming the name of Sharma's nephew, which made VJ Sharma suspicious. He then requested police to question his nephew, Ashu. Ashu eventually confessed to the murder with the help of his friend, Ronnie Massey. So a pet parrot's testimony eventually led to the imprisonment of 2 murderers. Where was it? Florida? No, it wasn't in Florida. I believe it was in the Middle East somewhere. It doesn't actually say the place. Anyway, guys, I will, if you're curious about this, obviously, all the links I use in the show, I pop on my Patreon. You can find all the links that we use there. Friends, wow, what an amazing show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back again, obviously, tomorrow for more fun and madness. Guys, so many things you could have been doing today. But instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with myself and the Natch, and it means the absolute world. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.